There's some misconceptions around this sometimes, you know. It's almost like we project our parent onto God. We try to use our mind to understand the infinite. It's impossible. It's not like there's a being sitting somewhere up somewhere in outer space, and then he sees everything. And if you do good, then he pushes a button, and then you're gonna like feel good. Rewards you, gives you a good girl or a piece of cake or something. Makes you feel good. It's that. I'm not going to get into talking too much about spiritual matters because I do that more on my spiritual channel. See, that's why I had to section things off, so you can go see that if you want spiritual renaissance. It's about frequency. When we're doing semen retention, when we're doing any lifestyle habits that have a higher frequency, then there's going to be there's consequences. You do lower things, there's emotional, mental, also physical consequences. Go rob stores, there's physical consequences, you know, if you get caught. If you're doing things that are higher level, I made a video, I think the 7 or 5 ways to increase your frequency, you know, via diet, via semen retention, via good company, via just good lifestyle habits, like common sense stuff. It becomes common sense when you default back to your common sense nature. A lot of people, they don't have common sense because we're doing so many habits that aren't good. It just clouds our brain. We can't see straight anymore. Then we start justifying and rationalizing our destructive behaviors. We use science and doctors and propaganda to justify these habits and addictions so that we can keep doing them because like it's too painful to not do them. This is like worse. So look, you have you have intelligence, that's one level. And then you have somebody that realizes like, yeah, I'm off track, man. Like I can't, my mind doesn't work right. Okay, good. That's good. Then you have worse level. They just justify and rationalize all their insanity and then try to sell that to you. A lot of people do that, even with the semen retention. That doesn't matter. It's good for you. Just jerk off. Watching porn? No, that helps enhance your sex life. They got all this nonsense. That category of people you don't talk to because there's just nothing to talk about. What are you guys going to talk about? You know, it's like 2 different universes trying to communicate. Like it's like trying to talk to the dog. Actually, the dog can respond better because on the level of instinct. These people that have just they're lost. Their instincts are also gone. They're just living in a destructive program of the mind, and they don't know it. So when you do higher frequency things, you're going to get the higher frequency results. This is just as simple as it is. This is how it works. So we can say like, if you want to call that God rewarding you, okay. But you see, we have to realize God don't punish us either. It's not a punishment. You go do something wrong, there can be consequences, and you know, life administers that. It's not God doing it. This is the problem with some religions. You know, they kind of condition you in this fear, guilt-based propaganda. Think that, and they project their own human nonsense onto God, and they think God is acting like they think he's acting. It's like, man, God's like beyond everything. God's just a word. It's a concept. We need something to point to the infinite, so we call it God. How are we going to understand the infinite? So you experiment with these things for yourself. Get your life together. Write a list of all the things you're doing you shouldn't be doing. We have to take inventory. Like if you were working at a store, you know, you have to take stock in inventory so you know like what the hell's going on. Do that with your own life. Take inventory. Write a list of what you're doing, that you be willing to do that. If you're willing to do that, powers will help you do that. It's worked out like that in life. When you want to try to do better, somehow some powers will assist you. Be patient though, it might take some time. So you write your list of things you're not doing that you should be doing. Then you write another list of things you should be doing that you're not doing. It's usually the opposite of the list of things that you're doing you shouldn't be doing. You see? Get all that on paper so you can see like what's going on, and then you start working on it. You're not going to like change everything overnight. Write down all your habits and addictions, and you can say defects of characters and shortcomings and everything you're doing that's like keeping you small and stuck and has a lower vibrational consequence. That means it makes your emotional body lower, your mental body lower, and your physical body lower. You take the whole package. This human software is the whole package. It's not just physical body. So you start to realize, you're like, wait, when I start doing things that are higher, it's like I get an upgrade in this human circuitry, this human AI system. It's like I'm operating on a higher frequency. Oh, I like that, actually. This feels better. This feels better than just doing a drug or getting drunk. That's a dulling out. You're escaping your state, your inner state. That's why people do it. But then there's consequences, and you feel the hangover, you feel lower, then you get addicted and you need more, then it stops working as good as it did before, and this whole thing. But when you unlock your own drugs, your higher chemistry inside you via the right way of living, you're like, damn, this doesn't have any consequences. There's no hangover, just the opposite. It's like, yeah, I want to take that. But you got to work for that, you see. It's free, but it's not cheap. You don't just, you got to work for it a little bit. So understand that. And at some point, you're going to have to do that anyway, because you bottom out. That's programmed into how life works. Somebody can only be unconscious and ignorant for so long, and the pain is going to make you come out of that because you're going to find you can't lie to yourself anymore and just say, make up some excuses for doing it. And you're not going to find any pill or teacher or practice or technique that you can use to bypass this law. Yeah, that person, yeah, we can have a discussion because they know. The other people, don't focus on them. Don't put your attention on them. Like, they're not in your orbit. All right, that's my message.